Today, literally Barbara and I both landing on the same number, 20 degrees, and well, went over that by a couple as well. Weatherman, 14 degrees. Yeah, you knew he didn't stand a chance. It's Friday, coming into a brand new weekend, June the 10th, and I'm so happy to have everybody with us. Let me do this. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today, believe me, London, Ontario. Yeah, believe me, it's been a long time since we've been to London, Ontario, and at the same time, we are quite familiar with the 401s and everything like that, the OPPs, those guys over there that keep us informed of what's happening in the rating systems through the winter. Believe me, they really, really do. We have a police sergeant that emails us and asks us to tell everybody that's on these the 40 system, and especially the road off to London. I think there's an airport on the way as well. Is that right? You know, from there is a big airport out that way as well that the OPP have something to do with, isn't there?
In London, in Ontario, yeah, there's an airport in London, sure.
Yeah, because believe me, we actually a number of years ago had a police officer from the OPP get in touch with us, and they says, would you be interested in broadcasting our road conditions, because we've had a truckie go off the road and he was listening to your station, so we thought, you know, if he's going to be listening, there's going to be other people, would you do that? So we've been having quite a nice little relationship with the provincial police over there. About 5 years now we've been doing this.
That's awesome.
And London, there's a major motorway heading off to London, comes up quite a bit. Believe me, it really, really does. That can be nasty sometimes over there.
Well, we get some good weather. That stretch of road can be a little treacherous in the wintertime, that's for sure, yeah.
Absolutely. Now, folks, before we go any further, let me do this.
Another Indie Artist Interview brought to you by Galaxy 107 FM in association with Rise Up TV, Big Record, and Sony Music They're watching.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and we are so happy that you'll be in association with Rise Up TV, Big Record, Sony Music, The Orchard, and also us here at Galaxy as well. Today we're talking to good friends of ours, Pete Wheeler and Kip as well, joining us from the band Durham County. Now, believe me, coming out of London, Ontario, we've been good friends now for some time, and they keep coming back. You know?
It's a good place to be.
Yeah, no, guys, believe me, if you need a psychiatrist, I do have one in your area.
I'll take that number.
Okay, well, I'll get Barbara to pass it on. You never know. She's a lovely lady too, by the way. Now, having said that, my friends, let's get into it with the very first song from from Pete Wheeler himself, the man behind Durham County. Check this out. Tomorrow's gonna be there. Well, were you scared it wasn't going to be?
What's that? No. Just play something totally different. And we're like, that's us. That's a good song.
Yeah.
That sounded like Peter Gabriel, not Pete Wheeler.
Well, you never know. Guys, well, we got a couple of minutes before we get back into it again. Is anybody a vegan here?
A vegan?
Yeah.
No, he grows vegetables.
No, well, you know, I'm a little worried about Kip. He grows vegetables, but Kip, are you a vegan?
Oh, no. I would raise animals if I lived at my farm. I don't live at where I grow my vegetables yet. So, although there are plans for future animals to be harvested and munched, we're not there yet.
Okay. So you're both meatologists like me, right?
We are, yes.
Okay. Look, I ask everybody this. Believe me, I really do. Have you guys ever tried a vegan sausage?
I don't think so.
Vegan sausage, I
Yeah.
would pass on that. I like all the Beyond Meat and all that stuff, Beyond Meat burgers, all the processing that goes into that, I have no interest. No.
Yeah, it's just that I'm trying to find out if it's made out of real vegans or not.
Ah, buddy. Where's the snare drum? Holy jeez.
I'll let you use that, Pete. I really will.
There you go.
I was talking to a young lady coming out of North Carolina just before I met up with you guys, and I says to her, you know, got any good jokes? She goes, no, I don't have any good jokes. And I says to her, okay, so why does the turkey cross the road? She goes, why? And I went, yeah, prove it wasn't chicken. Apparently she's going to change her hair back to blonde now.
There you go.
Yeah, but true. It's quite true. Anyway, let's go to the desk and have some fun, guys.
Excellent.
And if you ever do find out about vegan sausages, let me know, will you?
You'll be the first one to know.
Well, actually, I did run into a young lady doing an interview that was a vegan, and she admitted it, and I says, well, you know, where do you guys hang out? Do you hang out together? And, you know, do you get together? What? And she goes, why? I says, because the only place I see is on the news. That's right, you're right, here at Galaxy 107 FM, and well, today we're talking to the band themselves, yes, of course, Durham County Band, coming out of London, Ontario, and of course, joining us we have Pete Wheeler and we have Kip as well. Now, that last track was a Durham County Band kind of song, but it wasn't. What's happening here, Pete? What's going on? It was, but it's not.
I think that I have this overwhelming urge to write. So what happens with me is I think I have these folders of songs, and I'm the kind of guy that has to write when the mood hits. There's those people that are, and I give them kudos all up and down the road that can meet, oh, we're going to meet on Thursday at 6 o'clock and we're going to write a song. And that's awesome. If you can do that, more power to you. For me, it's all about inspiration and capturing that moment and stuff. So I have these folders of songs and song ideas and little snippets and stuff like that. And a lot of times, like when we get together, we'll be working on a song or whatever. That was one of those songs that I just kind of pulled out of the folder and kind of went, it doesn't quite fit really what DCB's about. It's a little bit more, I don't know, maybe, is it?
I think it's just, so I would classify Pete's folder system as songs that are like sort of designed to be like for a group of dudes who are going to perform it and put it out there, as opposed to a song that's about something a little more, maybe a little more intimate or a little more personal. And this one lyrically fell into that category, absolutely. So when we were talking about it, it was like, this feels like a solo project kind of one. It doesn't necessarily fit the mold of previous DCB releases.
You know, yeah. I get that, I really do. What I don't get, and believe me, I've been reading your bio. I've got the skinny here, right? I really do. I've got Pete Wheeler here, and I've also got Kip Walker, and I've also got Bronson Brown, James Downingham. Who the hell is the drummer? Yeah, well, I kind of figured this, but it says guitar and vocals here, Pete.
I guess I'm not overly...
He was trying to be humble. Yeah. We wanted you to imagine there was a mystery drummer that we just kind of left off the list. It just happened. But it's him. He's the guy who fills in all the holes. We've all got things that we can do and that we do well. But anything that we're falling short on, Pete just takes up the gauntlet and just does it.
Yeah, I get that now, I really do. And thank you for filling that one in for me, because believe me, I've been scratching my head. I'm going, you got keys here, a couple of guys on keys, you got vocals, you got bass, you got a couple of guys on guitars. Where the hell is the drummer? You know what I mean? So now
That is me. Yeah.
I
I'm
get
also the banjo player at times, the mandolin player at times. Sometimes I'll play keys poorly.
Pedal
That's
steel,
usually
pedal steel, you do the steel too.
I do lap steel, slide guitar, and stuff. The nice thing about it, though, is I don't do fiddle. I don't try to do fiddle, but like we have a handful of songs that have fiddle on it, and luckily enough for us, we have the amazing Scott Woods, who lives like literally 6 blocks away from me here, who is a Canadian Grandmaster fiddle champion, and I can call Scott up and just go, hey, when you're in town next time, do you think you could pop by? And he is the most humble, gracious, talented, awesome human being ever, because he can walk in and just listen to a song and he goes, okay, hit record, and he plays something, and I usually kind of go, that was awesome, dude. It just hits you. It's just and you know, it's like he can do a couple more takes, but of the songs that we have the fiddle on that he's done, it's just been like usually the first take and maybe a little snippet here and there, and it's just like he's just one of those guys that gets it.
Well, I got to tell you, Pete, to be very, very honest with you, I don't need fiddle as well. If I do, I get slapped.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's okay to get a little slapping.
Talking of slide, well, let's steal as well. Well, you know, there's a dark side to you, isn't there?
What's that?
There's a bit of a dark side to you, isn't there, Pete?
Oh yeah. Yeah, there could be.
Tell you what, talking about Rise Up TV and everything like that, believe me, they are absolutely fantastic. What they do, literally, is they go and pick up a band or an artist and go and take them on tour with a TV company with cameras and everything like that. Believe me, the old days of what goes on the road, stays on the road, no longer apply. They really don't. It's all about the drama and stuff like that. And one of the guys on tour at the moment, they're doing the Maritime tour right now, to be honest with you. And one of the guys on the road there, Tim Steinruck, believe me, absolute character. He really, really is. And the other day he was saying to me, Grant, you know, we're just having such a blast right now. These guys are coming to New Zealand. You know what I mean? We're going to be bringing all of that TV stuff. And talking, getting away from the subject, talking about lap steel that you play. Terry Van Cannon coming out of North Carolina, absolute master, is tuned in right now. Very, very good friend of ours as well. Thank you for tuning in, Terry. It really, really is a pleasure to have you. Now,
Hey Terry, if you ever want to play on any DCB stuff, drop me an email. I'd love some real good steel.
well, I tell you what, and believe me,
Sorry, I'm just sliding it in there. So the opportunity's there. The digital world, we can like, you know.
So there you go, Terry.
sliding it in there. Good, yeah. And I thought I was good at throwing stuff at people, sliding it in there. Love it. Well, I tell you what, Pete, what I'll do is I'll get Barbara to introduce you, because he is an absolute master at what he does. And, well, he's actually doing a bit of work with a couple of friends of mine in Germany as well. Jorg is doing some work with them as well. So believe me, I think you'll get on very, very well.
Awesome.
Terry says I'd love to. So there you go. We'll make the connection happen. In the meantime, I suppose we better move. Shall we? What do you reckon?
Where are you going?
No, I'm just trying to figure out, you know. Let's move. Tell me about Let's Move.
Oh man. There's songs that mean a lot to you, and they're deep set where there's emotion, there's real deep set lyrical content, and there's a reason why it's written. And songs like Thinking About You, if you go back in their catalog and stuff like that, that's a deep, that song means a lot. Tomorrow's Gonna Be There, there's a deep meaning, and that song itself was kind of developed from a conversation I had with somebody on social media who was just having a really, really rough time. And I realized there's nothing that I could say to that person that really would mean anything, but that song came out of that. Let's Move is just all about the fun. It's supposed to be exactly what it sounds like. Get your dancing shoes on, get out, have a good time. I think we all need it, and sometimes the songs don't have to have all of that.
I mean, that's it. So a lot of times what Pete and I and the other guys, if they're around, we'll get together and look through Pete's folders and kind of try to plot the trajectory for the next year and kind of see what songs we want to focus on, what we want the tone of our next calendar year to look like. And I know that when Pete and I got together to do this earlier this year, the one that jumped out to me for sure, that Pete, of course, had forgotten about, was Let's Move. And I was like, buddy, this is your summertime release. This is DCB Summer 2022. Because it's full on the floor. It's a big dance number. The world's kind of shifting away from this like isolated place to a place where we can gather again. And gathering, of course, means visiting, catching up, drinking, dancing, just letting loose. And every piece of that song just captures that for me, even in the rough state, even in that like rough demo state it was in back then. And just putting in the work and letting Pete work his magic on it just brought it to that next level. And we definitely made the right decision on it for sure.
You know, Kip, it sounds like Pete's got, hidden recipes of, Harry Potter or something tucked away somewhere. It really does. And there's hidden gems in there. Well, I got to be honest with you. When we first started playing Durham County, Let's Move, we didn't say a lot to anybody. Literally, we just played it a number of times, and then suddenly people started asking questions, much like who, what, when, where, how, when are we going to be doing the interview? We're doing it now, and believe me, Pete, 2,911 requests have been. They have been connecting to it, believe me, and we don't call them our fans anymore. We don't call them anything other than the noise, because it's getting louder these days. Our fans are so big. And believe me, when I go on stage, the first thing I say literally is, where's my noise at? Ref goes off, blows off.
Sure.
Absolutely fun. So, joining us and releasing it officially now here at Galaxy is the Durham County Band. Let's move.
Move, let's move. Let the knee drop and let's all find that groove, that groove.
Oh yeah, it's quite true actually. When I get out there on stage and say, where's the noise at, it just...
Oh yeah, where's the noise at?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Seems to...
Things picking up there as far as shows and stuff like that again for a lot of stuff?
Starting to, absolutely. We're bringing Rise Up TV to New Zealand via India and another couple of other countries on the way through. And they're actually coming over to do a documentary about yours truly, who talked to indie artists, much like yourselves, doing interviews and stuff like that. And they're bringing some of the indie artists that I've spoken to through their books over as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, excellent.
And,
that's cool.
I said to the owner of the
Anyone
company...
can join though.
Yeah, anybody
These
can
two,
join.
If Durham County wanted to
Yeah, of course.
come along, but they have to pay their own flight, but we'll look after them when they get here.
There you go. Anybody can come. Even you guys.
We need to find a drummer.
We need to find a
See?
Ba-dum boom.
There it is.
There it is. Oh look, yeah, humour. You recognise that, don't you? There it is. How many countries?
182.
Oh no, it's not bad. 182 countries are tuned in right now.
That's
Amazing.
Cool. That's cool.
That's not bad. How many cities?
2138.
2138 cities. Bingo. I like that number. 2138. 2000.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
Flows off the tongue.
it does.
Does so.
It does. Believe me. I'll give you the number of how many literally were tuned in after we do this, because it's still growing. It really is. It's like a fungus. It just
Nice.
keeps coming.
That's what they like to be called.
I have some fungus growing in my backyard that my Jack Russells keep rolling in and coming back in, and they smell like shrooms.
Well, it's better than the stuff I've got on my feet. I couldn't see your dogs rolling in it.
Yeah. I know.
Joking. Just joking. I have no fungus on my feet.
No fungus on your feet.
No, but I do feel like one every now and again, you know, kept in the dark and fed something.
And fed, yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah,
Yep.
yep,
Yep.
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 Even Canterbury knows about this.
You are.
What's he drinking?
Yeah, what are you drinking, Pete?
Just agua.
Ah, pussy. I thought
Just the
you'd need
water.
I thought you'd needed a stiff drink with dealing with me, bro.
Let's move. Galaxy.
Now, guys, a young lady coming out of Houston, Texas wants to know, her name is Tracy, she's asking, are you doing any plans of coming down to the States anytime, doing any tours?
Oh, touring is such a tough subject with us because we're not, as the gray in my beard probably tells you, you probably get this too, but like we're not spring chickens anymore. We've got other things going on. So the logistics of coordinating Pete, myself, the other two guys, and I guess finding a drummer, that's our logistical nightmare at the moment. Obviously, we love playing together. That was the impetus of getting Durham County Band together, was just for friends who've been musically entangled for 20 years deciding we got to do something together. And obviously a lot of that was playing, and it continues to be something we shoot for. And every year, like I said, we get together and sort of plot our trajectory. It's like, we're going to tour this year? And it hasn't quite happened yet. But obviously we'd love to. I mean, coming to New Zealand would be fantastic, but
Yeah,
it might not be a 2023 item.
Yeah, you never know, but gotta let you know, Kip, you know, this is what happens when you reach 21.
Yeah, I'm actually 25, so I'm even further down that road.
Oh, I see, you've got the eggshell haircut as well.
That's right.
That's the
that
one.
makes me streamlined.
Yeah.
The beautiful thing about the band was when we got together and started getting momentum, really within about a year or so, all of the stuff with the pandemic sort of came into play. And it put everything into the backseat, and then we were thinking, well, we're going to do a radio tour. Oh, well, no, we're going to cancel that. Then we're going to do this, and we're going to cancel that. And now this year, in my head, it was like, well, maybe this summer we'll be able to get out and do stuff. And some shows are starting to go through now, which is great. And there are shows that are happening finally. But there's things like, there's a big show in Havelock, which is close to us here. And that just got canceled, and that just kind of makes you kind of go,
One more year.
It's one of those things where there's so much planning and finances that need to go into being able to do that and to support a tour. I would say to anybody and everybody, if you like artists, not just us, but any artist, go on the website and buy the songs, download the songs, give them a couple of bucks here and there. It really does help support all facets of all the artists. And that's not just me saying, oh, go and buy Durham County Band songs. Of course, I'm saying that, but I'm not saying that specifically. I'm saying, like, if you like artists, clicking on Spotify and playing a song, it really doesn't pay well for a lot of the people that are out there. Going to their website and downloading, buying a CD, buying a T-shirt, stuff like that really helps to support those artists that are really in those kind of positions, right?
Yeah, well, I gotta let you know, Pete, that over the last couple of years through this pandemic, we have literally been supporting a number of causes for independent artists, much like yourselves, that have been on certain CDs. Literally, please go and buy the CD. And all the proceeds go to the artists, everything like that, because believe me, they're not making any money right now. Well, then, anyway, through that pandemic. So we tried to do as much as possible to not only raise awareness about the need to be able to pass some money on to artists, but to be able to support artists in the endeavours of writing new music, getting them into studios. You know, it costs money. It really does to keep you guys entertained on the other side of the little screeny thing there that we're talking to two exceptional artists. It doesn't come cheap. It really doesn't. And over the years, well, you know, when you come up with pandemics, that's not in the game plan as being an artist. Really isn't.
Well, and you have to think of all of the other people that are involved, like just the sound guys, the riggers, all of the different people that are involved in that. A lot of them were hit really hard. So it's not just me saying go buy a Durham County Band song. Like, I mean, that's not what I'm trying to say here at all. It's really about the whole industry was hit hard, and it's about reaching out and doing what you can to help get bands back out there and giving us the opportunity to entertain you, yes, but to get everybody back to work and having a good time.
Well, I got to let you know, Pete, that Barbara is the manager of Aurora Entertainment, which brings bands into the country. Well, it was prior to the pandemic, right? Tour bands up and down the countryside, do some shows, show the sights, all that sort of stuff. And with the pandemic, literally, I think out of a number of our staff, I think we're whittled down now to about 4 or 5, if you know what I mean. They've all had to literally take another job to try and survive their way through this because, it's just been one of those surreal kinds of periods in history. It really has. But having said that, we are getting back on our feet. The borders are opening up quite nicely, to be very honest with you. And at the same time, now we're starting to make plans of bringing bands back into the country. So people are starting to come back. We're making connections again. And hopefully, we're kind of looking, you know, damage control, maybe 24, 25 by the time we get fully back into the game again. But believe me, we haven't been sitting on our hands while this has been going on either. No. We've been preparing, making sure equipment's up to scratch, making sure that everything's in place. We've still got the connections we need to have from venue owners to motels to hotels to transport, you name it. We've been trying to schmooze everybody and just keep everything rolling while we've not been earning any money. You know, so
the door's open.
Yeah, and it's just been one of those things you've had to do, literally.
Yeah.
But as far as music goes, damn, it's been on the chin. I've got to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been an interesting time for everybody, for sure. I mean, the only benefit for me is that I own the studio. I'm here all the time, and boy, I got folders of songs to work on. So it's like literally when this is done, like we're on the clock of, okay, here's the folder, let's go through. Because even when we picked the song, when he picked the Let's Move Out, I was working almost finished, and it's a really nice ballad. And in my head, I thought, I'm stuck on the song, not stuck as in finishing it, but just in my head, I was just stuck in like, this is it, this is a great song, people are gonna like, it's great. And it's almost finished. And then he comes in and we're like, well, let's go through the folders and let's do this and let's do that. And then all of a sudden it's like, no, that one, that's the summer song. Put that one aside. That's the summer song. And I'm like, really?
I think it's hard for people to understand because we talk about the folders, and I talk about the folders a lot. It's, for me, coming here, because like Pete said, he lives here, he is the studio. But when I come over, it's like Christmas. I have my little coffee. I'm like, let's try that one. What about that folder? What's in there? And then he just opens it up and plays it. And sometimes it's just a little thing. But if you just, I don't know, the way that Pete writes, he kind of just tries to capture that moment, that idea, the feel. It doesn't even always have lyrics. But there's dozens and dozens and dozens of these folders. And my other favorite thing about it is he doesn't name the songs. They don't have names. It's whatever he was kind of feeling like at the time. So I'll be like, can you open up Schnibbledy Guitar 2? And then we'll open up, Fiddle-Dee-Dee 1. They make no sense. We have no idea what's going to be in there. It's like Christmas, and I love it. It's one of my favorite things.
That's very true. That's very true.
I've never heard of a song called Schnibbledy-Dee something.
Schnibbledy 2.
Yeah.
2. You don't even want to know what Schnibbledy 1 was about. You don't even want to know. I never make the cut.
Well,
the sequel's much better.
Yeah, okay, did you have the lights off in the second one?
That's it.
Yeah, there you go. Guys, we are going to have to move on, unfortunately, because we're coming very, very close to lunchtime here at Galaxy, and the other crew's coming in very, very shortly. But please, come back again, won't you?
Absolutely, anytime. And again, I know we were talking just about the industry a whole bunch and just how artists have been struggling. But certainly, again, having people like yourself and radio stations like Galaxy, like you guys just do so much, giving us an opportunity to come on and talk and share our stories and sort of promote ourselves, as well as, just, local music, Ontario music, Canadian music, world independent music. It's just, we obviously really appreciate that, in case you haven't heard that enough today.
Well, you know something? Excuse me, asthmatic. I got to be honest.
I thought you were just getting emotional.
No.
Yeah.
Get real.
That's fair.
No, gentlemen, honestly, I am an asthmatic. But having said that, I need you to keep working. I need you to keep recording. I need you to keep singing. I need you to keep making music. Otherwise, I don't have a job, okay?
I get it. We'll do our part, that's for sure.
There you go. Don't let me down, right?
Never.
Absolutely.
Because I'm fond of getting a paycheck, please. I really am.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Don't go anywhere just yet, because we're going to do some crazy photos, stuff like that. Oh, by the way, have you ever been a cartoon before?
Having a feeling like I'm about to be.
I have not ever prior to this moment, I imagine.
No,
Well, believe me,
I did have some really dark dreams about Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, there's goes those dark things again. And I was telling you about, I was also telling you about Tim. I'll tell you about Tim in a minute. Believe me, you'll find this amusing, because he is with Rise Up TV as well. He really, really is. So, in the meantime, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure. We'll be back again on Tuesday with a whole heap new interviews. Believe me, you're going to love these guys as well. But over the weekend, please stay safe, look after yourselves, and be aware when you're on the roads, okay? Anything can happen. It really can. So, take care, and I'll catch you back here live at The Breakfast Show, Monday morning, 6 a.m.
Another indie artist interview brought to you by Galaxy.